Hi, um, my name is Diana, and I wanted to just bring up an idea. So, I watched Black Mirror, a bunch of episodes, including from season 4, I believe, the Black Museum. And there were a bunch of things that, tugged at my heart, and especially when it came to the monkey and I think her name is Carrie, and the main character's mother, who's basically in the same situation as Carrie before she ended up in the monkey, and like the stuffed monkey. And I wanted to talk about, basically I really felt for Carrie and how she's in the monkey now, and how it is, I do believe, inhumane that she is trapped in this monkey, and for some reason, I don't know why they can't upload her to another device that she can communicate in. I don't know if, the technology there is so outdated that they just can't figure out parts to transfer her somewhere else, which I'm sure they can. If they can do all the other things that they can do in the other episodes, I'm sure they can do that, but I digress. But it's so sad that all she can communicate are, basically happy and sad. Mommy loves you, mommy needs a hug, and that's it. And I was trying to think, you know, how can she communicate more than that? And, I was trying to think, well, the two statements that she can say, mommy loves you, mommy needs a hug. I was thinking maybe out of those two statements, can we create, with the letters used and the sounds that are used in those sentences, could we create a whole new language? And there are a couple of problems with that. But I started thinking at first about almost like Pokemon, like how most Pokemon, I know there are some exceptions, but I was thinking with some Pokemon, how they can only say basically their name, but they can also say certain sounds and everything based on their name. Like, let's say Pikachu. Um, Pikachu can say Pikachu, Pika, Chu, Kachu, P, um, Chu, Pika, P, stuff like that. You get the idea. And basically create, like Pikachu can basically create their own language. And I was thinking maybe that I can go somewhere like that. But the only issue is it's not like, at least as far as I'm aware from the episode, from whatever the episode gives me, that I have seen, that it looks, from what I can tell, that she can't just skip to a different part of the sentence. Like, let's say with the mommy loves you, it's not like she can say mommy, me, loves, bzz, you, loves, mom, me, loves, me, you, me. It's not like that. It has to repeat the entire time. And one question that I wished was answered was, can she, like most toys, restart at any moment? Like some toys, even if you press the button quickly again, it still has to go through the whole line or whole song or whatnot. But if she presses it fast, can it go kind of like, mommy loves you? Like, let's say if she were to press it multiple times at different times, to kind of repeat. Too bad she can't cut to different parts of the sentence, but still she can do that. Well, I'm wondering if she can. And if she can, that opens up a bunch of doors, because at least we can use part of the beginning of the sentence. But even if not, then I started thinking of the idea of basically Morse code. And I don't know Morse code exactly. I used to actually know Morse code. I taught it to myself, but it's been years now. I don't remember. Um, and maybe I'll research into that more and actually give an example in a future video. But for now, I'm just talking from the idea of it and from the little that I remember. So maybe, she could kind of use at least the beginning sound, like as in like dots, kind of, And then maybe instead of slashes, it could be like using the whole word mommy. Like let's say mommy, mommy, kind of. Instead to do that, and then if the other person were to learn Morse code, they can communicate with her. Like the person would have to learn Morse code on their own, then they would teach it to her, and then to make sure that she understands, be like, okay, let's just say, and again, this is probably incorrect, but just for sake of example, let's just say for this example, A is dot dot slash. It probably isn't. I'm assuming it's not. I'm assuming that I'm wrong. But for sake of argument and trying to understand my point, we're just going to say at this time that it is, right? So they would say, let's say if I'm talking to Carrie, I'd be like, okay, now A is dot dot slash. So each dot is going to be ma, and each slash is going to be mommy. So now A is dot dot slash. So it'd be mommy. So can you say that for me so that I understand, so that I know that you understand that? Can you repeat that to me? And then if she can, then let's say she would choose one of the buttons and do that. And then if I hear that correctly, like let's say mommy, then I would understand that and I'd be like, okay, great. Now can you do that one more time just to confirm that you understand that? And let's say she would do that again, and I'd be like, perfect, great, glad to hear it, And then I would continue forward, teaching her all the other letters, reviewing back to make sure that she still remembers the others until both have basically created a language of letters. And even though I know that they're not words, they're just letters, still, at least it's a beginning. And then maybe eventually in the future they could create shortcuts to certain words that are overused. But even so, as you get quicker with it in being able to speak that, but also being able to understand that, it can go by much, much quicker. And it'll be as fluent as, like a fluent language speaker, understander, when you understand a language fluently. But then I was thinking, what if it doesn't repeat like that? And again, I don't understand how, not only could they not upload her somewhere else or give her other things to say, like attach other sounds or at least change the sounds even. I don't know why that can't happen, but for some reason in this world it doesn't seem to be possible, or no one is willing to for some reason. I don't understand why. So we're just working with what I have seen in the show and understand, and trying to go with every possibility of what if and what if not. So, like, what if not, and what I can continue on with going forward. So, if it cannot repeat, we're not going to go through a whole sentence multiple times. That would, I guess you technically could, but that could be problematic, and each letter would take so much longer that I could see how that could be much more difficult. At least it's still a way of speaking. Like, like let's say the mommy loves you could be a dot, the mommy needs a hug could be a slash, but still it's just, not as ideal. So then I was thinking, what if you could either lower the volume enough that you can ignore it or turn it off, or at least go to where the sound is coming from and kind of cover it, like mask it with some tape or whatnot, and kind of like turn that off. Could you just, if there was any, and I think maybe I misheard, maybe it's just part of the audio, but it sounded like there was some type of clicking noises. And that brings up the question, does the button itself, whenever she presses the button in order to make the sound, is there a button that relays the sound to turn on that makes a clicking noise? And if that is the case, could she use that instead? Like we muffle the sound so that it does either very low or doesn't at all say mommy loves you, mommy needs a hug, but instead does the clicking noises of the button itself so that we can use that instead to speak. So it would be like click, 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 click. Like I'm just making a random example just, so that you understand what I'm trying to say. So could she do that? And I think that would actually be better than hearing the M sound a million times, but still, at least it's an idea. And then what if that's not a clicking noise? What if that's part of the audio and that I am mishearing that? And if that is the case, then there must be something inside that's still triggering the sound in some way. Like whether it be a button that goes like up and down or down and up. You get the idea. And if it's not making a clicking sound, could I make it make a sound? Like maybe attach a bell to it on whatever that's going up and down. Or if it's a switch that goes up and down, that maybe I can attach like either a bell or some type of object that can make a noise, like a mini rattle or something. Like let's say like a little shell, almost like marble sized, and inside like a couple like almost like grains of sand or something that could make a sound whenever it moves, or like a tinier ball that can like rattle or click almost. Like could I use that and then make a different sound and then use that to kind of create Morse code so that I could communicate with her if I wanted to. And I think that those are all plausible options. The only thing is I don't know how the inside of this stuffed monkey works. I don't know exactly how it works, if it works like how stuffed animals, or at least most average stuffed animals, work, or if it's much different. I would have to know how the inside of it works, how the outside of it works, and so on forth. And I thought of other ideas of like either connecting it to some kind of computer to type, but again, I would have to know about how it works in order to do that. And if not that, at least with the buttons themselves, like if I can attach something to make it make a noise, if it doesn't, that maybe I could attach something like sticks or something so that she can use them to kind of like type, and then I would put something under and behind the monkey to support it in a way that it could kind of use a keyboard. But the only thing is, with only two options, it's not like you can really move it unless I was able to use one to go up and down and one to go sideways. Maybe I kind of move it in a way that